Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton, and today we're going to be talking about one of my very favorite all-time albums, the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, released on May 27th, 1963. This was the second album from Bob Dylan, which is really interesting. It's probably, well, what do you say? It's iconic. This is the album that made me a Bob Dylan fan, and just to be kind of personal about it, kind of not sure where to begin with Dylan. Asking people, where do I start with Dylan? This is in the mid '90s, and people were saying, well, maybe a greatest hits, and try this. I kept going back to this album because the cover just kept screaming to me something about them in the snow, and Susie Rotolo, who was his girlfriend at the time. This album just kept saying, listen to me. And so I finally bought it, broke down and bought it. And opening track, Blowing in the Wind. Everybody knows that song. And what do you say? It's just huge, a huge record. And it just changed the way I thought about songwriting, about everything. And I think it did for a lot of people, and understandably so. Whereas the first album was sort of a collection of what he'd been doing on the folk scene. This was sort of this contemporary words, folk melodies, all written by Dylan. And it's just like this sort of running list of fantastic poetic songs. Opening track, Blowing in the Wind, Girl from the North Country, iconic song, Masters of War. And then you kind of slow back down the highway, Bob Dylan's Blues. Side one closes with Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. Then you get Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. You get some of the protest stuff coming in, like Oxford Town, I Shall Be Free. So it's just these sort of just rolling things of just Dylan, acoustic guitar, harmonica, and just iconic in every way. Was a hit album, reached the top 25 in the United States, reached number 1 in the UK, was ranked in the list of 500 greatest albums of all time, and it was also selected as one of the first recordings to be added to the Library of Congress, to the National Recording Registry. So it's earned its place, and rightfully so. One listen kind of gives it away. I think this album just more than anything sums up everything about Bob Dylan that you would expect. The nasally voice. A lot of people say he can't sing. I think that's utter nonsense. Personal. Acoustic guitar. It's just, when you see like early Bob Dylan, this album kind of sums it up. And so it's a great place to start if you're not sure about where to go with Bob Dylan. Produced by John Hammond. I don't want to not mention that. And just iconic. I mean, absolutely iconic. Comment down below. Like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. TommyBurton75. See you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.